Greetings to another video. Today we're going to be looking at the new Garmin Edge 540 and the 840. These both come in the solar and non-solar, but I'm going to be looking at some of the differences, some of the things that are the same in these units, and then just some of the features that I absolutely love and think you will like as well. This is not going to be some like full in-depth tech review of all the things that these units can do. Loads of other videos on the internet about those. This is going to be the things that I use, that I find useful day to day riding in the real world. I will add as well though, I don't feel like everyone always needs to invest and upgrade to the newest units. However, these have got some amazing new features that I think are going to help and improve your cycling. So the main differences between these two units, the 540 is buttons only and the 840 is buttons and touchscreen. Also the 540 has 16 gigabytes of storage and the 840 has 32 gigabytes, and also the 840, how many times can I say 840? The 840 has a couple of different search functions, so you can do an address search and you can also create a course within the actual unit itself. I mean, you can do that on the 540, but you can add in specific course points on the 840. Apart from that, everything is the same in these units, and that's what I'm going to talk about now. These are going to be some new features that are in these units. I love solar, and I think this is really helpful and useful if you're going to go on a multi-day bikepacking trip where you're not going to have access to be able to charge. I did a video last summer of when the 1040 solar came out and I wanted to test how good it actually was. The video will be linked below. In short, it is amazing for multi-day trips. And just for example, at the weekend I rode for 3.5 hours with the 840 solar and it added 48 minutes battery time onto the unit, which I think is amazing for such a short ride. I mean, it's not that short, I mean 3.5 hours, it's fairly long. Also the battery life on these is amazing anyway, whether you get the solar or not. So we've got 32 hours in demanding use, so that is if you've got like the map screen on the whole time or if you've got loads of sensors attached, and 60 hours in battery save mode. So if you're someone that forgets to charge the Garmin a lot, or you have loads of sensors attached all the time, then these are going to be really, really good because they have such good battery life. Also, if you're an audaxer and you do long distance and you don't want to have to charge like during your ride, these are going to be amazing for, not being having to charge. I've talked about this, raved about this so many times. It's the best thing I think Garmin's have ever created, and that's Climb Pro. So if you don't know what Climb Pro is, basically when you're riding along and there's a climb coming up, it will pop up and tell you as you're about to start that climb. It will tell you how far there is left. It will tell you how many meters there are to go, as in like elevation. And it will also create a color-coded elevation profile so you can see where all the steep bits are and where the shallower bits are. It's honestly, I love it, absolutely love it. But they have now created that. So it used to be that you had to create a route, the route would be on your unit and then that would work with Climb Pro. Now, however, it will just work anywhere. You don't have to have any route loaded into your unit. You can just be riding along and it will be scanning the area for climbs. When you're about to approach one, all that information will just come up. I did a video about this actually at the weekend, so I'll link that below as well if you want to have a look at more in depth at how that works. But Climb Pro now for me, I just can't ride without it. It is so helpful for pacing and knowing where the climbs are. Also, it's very handy on free rides, because as you're riding along it will scan the area and you can see on the map where the climbs are. So it's also very handy if you actually want to avoid the climb. So you can see, yeah, there's a climb that way, I'm not going to go that way today. So yeah, handy for climb lovers and also people that actually want to avoid the climbs. Also new to these units are additional search features. So now you can actually look where the closest bike shop is, which is just so helpful. If you're mid-ride and you have a mechanical and you want to know where the nearest bike shop is, you can just search that on your unit and it will direct you to ride straight there. And there's other features on there such as like water stops, there's restaurants, shops, toilets. It's so good for searching other things within the unit, so you don't have to get your phone out, you don't have to go on Google, it's all within the unit itself. And it's also not because it's connected to your phone, it doesn't need to be connected. So if you've not got any battery left on your phone, having all that information and search information within the unit is so helpful. The next new feature is GNSS, which is Global Navigation Satellite System. I had to check that. And what that basically means is this is the latest, best, most accurate form of navigating, and it's because it uses dual frequency. So this means if you're under tree cover, if you're in a really populated area with massive tall buildings, you're going to have way better accuracy than if you're just using like a single frequency. So this is going to be really, really handy if you ride off-road, if you ride under trees, if you're just doing big events, even like in the mountains where there's so much tree cover. So it's going to be really helpful for that as well. Also, what I will say about having GNSS turned on, it does eat a little bit more battery life. So I will always set mine to auto so that it will come on when I need it and it will turn off when I don't necessarily need it. So that's just a little extra tip to get more battery life out of your unit. So the next few things are not necessarily new for these units, but things that I use on Garmin's all the time that I find really helpful. First one are drink and eat alerts. So on really long rides, having this set up is so crucial for me to make sure that I'm eating and drinking enough. So basically you just go into alerts and just set up. You can either choose the smart alerts, which will mean that the Garmin is working out for you when you should be eating and drinking, or you can just set your own time. I just set mine to every half an hour, and it's so good, especially if you're riding like through the night. You don't always necessarily feel like eating and drinking, or it's just a good reminder that you should keep fueling as you're riding just to be able to perform your best and then just generally enjoy the ride a lot more. Another really small feature that I find really useful is back to start function in the navigation menu. So if you're mid-ride, you're not feeling great, or for whatever reason the weather turns, you just want to go straight back home, it will just route you straight back home. It'll give you two options. It will either give you the most direct route, so the shortest route, or the route that you've come across. And I just find that really helpful. I've done it on club rides where we're in the middle of a ride, the weather's got really bad, I'm like, actually, do you know what? I'm not going to go back to the clubhouse, I just want to go straight back. Don't always know the way, so yeah, just click that and it will just take you straight back. Super helpful, super clever to have that actually in the unit. Also, the next thing, I can't believe I only just discovered this in the Garmin units, and that is Power Guide. And basically what this means is you obviously have to have a power meter for this to work, but you go into your routes, click Power Guide, and it will create a power guide for that particular route for you based on your FTP. And you can put or choose whichever kind of how hard or difficult that you want it to be. Also, that's really clever is actually during the ride, if you're feeling like you set it, to be an easy ride, and you're feeling really good, you can actually up the exertion levels. If you want it to be really hard and you're going to go like obviously a lot harder, then you can change that mid-ride. Equally, if you've gone out a little bit too confident and you're not really feeling it that day, you can reduce it. So good. Also, I should add, it's not necessarily for you to finish within a set time of a course. It's more to do with how hard you want to work on that particular course. So I would add that in. Also, the last one, this is going to be so good if you've got an event that you've planned later in the year and that you don't want to pay for a coach, but you do want to build up your fitness for it. This is basically like having a coach within your Garmin. So all you need to do is go onto Garmin Connect, input your date, put the actual course for the event, and then it will generate workouts for you to do every day. So it will be daily suggested workouts based on that event. So it's got like a build phase, taper phase, the event. It's so good, and it's all within your Garmin. And I think a lot of people maybe don't know that that's actually in there. So yeah, just thought I would point that out if you've got any events coming up and you want to just get as fit as you possibly can for that event. Also, it works with wearables. So if you have a watch or a heart rate monitor, it will, so for example, if you've not slept very well, it will adjust it to basically make sure that you're not overtraining. The other thing that I should say about Garmin's are that they have so much packed into them that I feel like it can be customized for anybody. So even if you're a pro and you have like really intense workouts, you need all the data, all the info, or you're someone that rides maybe once or twice a week that just wants to be able to put a route in and record your ride and see where you've been. Like, I feel like that it just covers everybody and it's just customized for you and what you use it for. And finally, I mean, this is your reward for watching all this way through. I'm actually going to give away a 540 solar and an 840 solar. So all you need to do is just put a little comment in the comment section, and I will choose a winner for each. So in fact, let me know what you're gonna use it for. I wanna like hear some like awesome, fun trips. It doesn't have to be massive, but maybe it's gonna be a challenge for you. It don't even need to be a challenge. Just tell me something fun that you're gonna do with the units later this year, and I'll pick a winner for each. So thank you so much for watching. See you all next video. Bye, bye, bye.